Good morning, students. Today we are going to see the chapter Atomic and Nuclear Physics. Okay, so the first part is Atomic Physics. So what do you mean by Atomic Physics? That is, we can study about atom. Okay, so one should know what is atom before we have to know what is matter. Okay, what is matter? Anything which occupies space, that is called as what? Matter. Okay, that matter is classified into 4 types. What are they? Solids, liquids, gases and plasma. So we already learned in our lower classes. So what is solids, liquids, gases and plasma and all. And we know what are the examples also. Okay. So in our experiences, we should know that what is that? Each and every material will not behave as a same as one another. Right? Which means the material will have the different physical and chemical properties. Okay. Now we consider any of the object. That object is going to divide repeatedly, but the process of division is not completely done within beyond a certain stage. Okay, but finally it ends up with a small speck. This small speck was defined as an atom. Okay, so in Greek word, atom is nothing but without division or what? Indivisible. Okay, so how do we define atom? By the definition of atom, it is nothing but a smallest unit of element which consists of a dense central positively charged nucleus surrounded by negatively charged electrons is called as what? Atom. Right? Which means a positive charge of nucleus which is present at the center and the electron is surrounded by it. Right? And this atom is divided into 2 parts, that is 2 types. Right? One is the atomic structure and another one is the extranucleus part. So what is the atomic structure? This atomic structure consists of protons, that is positive charge, and the neutrons, it is neutral, which means what? No charge. Okay. And the extranucleus part, it contains negatively charged electrons. Okay. This is nothing but atoms and its types. And next we will see what are the properties of an atom. And the first one is size of an atom. We know the atom size is very, very small, right? So in case of hydrogen atom, the size is around 10 power minus 10 meter. Okay. This is what a famous physicist said that is Richard Feynman. He said if the atom becomes the size of an apple, then the apple becomes the size of the earth. So such a small entity is called as what? Atom. Okay. And next is mass. The mass of atom is 1.67 into 10 power minus 27 kg to 4.52 into 10 power minus 25 kg. Right? And next is the electric charge of an atom. It is basically what? Neutral. That is 0. All it is depends on the ionic charge. Okay. And next is the components of an atom. The main components we know already, that is electrons, protons and neutrons. This is nothing but what? Atoms. Next the topic is electric discharge through gases. Okay. So normally we know that gases at normal atmospheric pressure, there are poor conductors of electricity. Right? Because we know there are no free electrons for conduction. Okay. So by this special arrangement, here the gas can be to conduct electricity. Okay. So here this is very small and simple device. Initially it consists of long closed glass tube. Okay. So in this tube it is fully filled with pure form of gas. Okay. And there will be small opening here. It is connected to a high vacuum pump and low pressure gauge. Okay. And there will be 2 metal electrodes are fitted to this tube. And one is the cathode, which is nothing but negative, and another one is the anode, that is positive. Okay. These 2 electrodes are connected to a high potential difference. Right? So initially I said that it is a long closed glass tube that length ranges 50 centimeter and the diameter ranges 4 centimeter. Right? And here these 2 cathode and anode electrodes are connected to a high potential difference that maintains a range about 50,000 volts, or we can say what? 50 kilovolts. Okay. So initially what will happen? Right? If suppose if the pressure of the gas in the discharge tube is reduced to 110 mm of Hg, at the time what will happen? There will be no discharge of electricity will be taking place when 110 mm of Hg, right? Next we are going to reducing the pressure again. It becomes 100 mm of Hg. At that time there will be a discharge of electricity will be taking place. So in this stage there will be a irregular streaks of lights and crackling sound is heard. Okay. And next we are reducing the pressure again, that is 10 mm of Hg. There will be a luminous columns formed. Okay. Luminous means what? It is nothing but some bright column. We can say it is positive column is formed. Okay. And next furtherly we are reducing the pressure again, that is 0.01 mm of Hg. At that time the luminous column will disappear. Here this column will disappear, will get the dark space, that is Crookes dark spaces formed, which means here the wall, at the time the walls of the tube can appear green in color. Okay, so in this stage the invisible emitting rays, that is the penetrating rays will coming out from cathode. That rays is called as what? Beam of electrons. This is nothing but electric discharge of gases. So from the figure I said, an invisible rays emitting from cathode, that is called as what? Cathode rays, that is nothing but beam of electrons. Okay, here we can see some of the properties of cathode rays. The first point is, so cathode rays travels in a straight line. It travels in a what? Straight line. And this cathode rays is deflected by both electric and magnetic fields. And the direction of cathode ray, it indicates the negatively charged particles. Okay. And this cathode ray is allowed to fall on matter or any substance. It produces what? Heat. Okay. And it affects the photographic plates and it produces fluorescence. And this cathode rays can ionize the gas through which they pass. Okay. And the speed of cathode ray, it is 1/10 of speed of light. Okay. So normally we know the speed of light ranges 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. But here it is 1/10 of speed of light, no? So then the range is 3 into 10 power 7 meter per second. So here are some of the properties of cathode rays. Okay. For the last class, we had seen electric discharge through gases and properties of cathode rays. Right? So now we'll just recall what are the properties of cathode rays. So we know that cathode rays travels in a straight line and cathode rays are deflected by both electric and magnetic fields. And we know that what is that? Cathode rays ionize the gases and through which they pass. Right? And it can affect the photographic plates and the speed is normally what? 1/10 of speed of light. Okay. And here the topic is determination of specific charge of an electron by Thomson experiment. Right? And we know J.D. Thomson, he is a scientist, one who discovered the electrons. Okay. And here specific charge of an electron by Thomson experiment. Okay. So what is specific charge and what is the principle of this experiment? Okay. So the principle of this experiment is, we know it by the properties of cathode rays. Cathode rays are deflected by both electric and magnetic fields. Okay. Here also in this experiment, in the presence of electric and magnetic fields, cathode rays are what? Deflected. Okay. And specific charge of an electron is nothing but, it can be defined as the ratio of the charge per unit mass of the particle. Particle is nothing but what? Electron. Okay. So it is a ratio of the charge per unit mass of an electron. Okay. So now we will see what is the experiment arrangement of this experiment by using what? Thomson experiment. Okay. Here, and this is a highly evacuated discharge tube. And C is nothing but cathode, A is what? Anode. And these two positive and negative are the deflecting plates, which means two parallel metallic plates. Okay? And this is nothing but fluorescent screen and can be coated by zinc sulfide. Okay? And here the cathode is connected to the battery. Right? And this one is a high voltage battery which is connected between the cathode and what? Anode. Okay. So initially what will happen? Now this cathode and anode, it is getting charged by means of this high voltage battery. Right? So at that time a beam of electron is coming from cathode, it can pass to what? Anode. So here the anode is attracted the beam of electrons. Okay, and here this anode is made with pinhole, right? So in which it can allows a narrow beam of electrons, it can pass through the two deflecting plates, right? And these two deflecting plates, what will happen? And these two plates can maintain the high potential difference, right? And this discharge, gas discharge tube is kept between the pole piece of what? Magnet here, right? In which the magnetic field is passing, right? And also what? The electric field also is passing, which means positive plate and negative plates are here. The electric lines are forced from what? Starts from positive charge and terminates at what? Negative charge, right? So the electric field is vertically acting what? Vertically downwards direction. Okay, and here also magnetic field is passing and electric field is vertically downwards. So these two electric and magnetic fields are acting perpendicular to each other, right? So once the cathode rays can strike the fluorescent screen, at that time it can produce a scintillation. So what do you mean by scintillation? Which is nothing but a spot of light, which means a flash of light is observed on the screen. Okay, this is the experimental arrangement of this experiment, right? Now how will you find out the specific charge of an electron? So in which first we have to calculate what is the velocity of the cathode rays, right? So what is the velocity of cathode rays? How will you calculate the velocity of the cathode rays? So look at the diagram here. Here two plates are here, positive and negative here, and in which the electric field is acting vertically what? Downwards. Okay, and also magnet is here, and magnetic field is causing along north to south, right? Once the electron is traveling along this path and travels the velocity with that is v vector, and automatically there will be a electric force and magnetic force here, right? Suppose the electric field can be fixed between these two plates. At that time, we have to adjust the magnetic field, in which only the beam of electron can strike the original position, that is O here. Okay, and at that time, the electric force and magnetic force can be kept what? Balanced. Okay, so electric field is fixed here. The magnetic field can be adjusting so that it can strike the original point, that is O position here. Okay, so electric force and magnetic force can be kept what? Balanced. So what becomes the equation? So electric force is nothing but Fe, and the equation is, what is that? Ee. So electric force equation is Ee, and the magnetic force equation is Fb equal to Bev sin theta. Be what? Sin theta. And this theta is the angle between the velocity and the magnetic field. Okay, so we know that velocity and magnetic field, these two are perpendicular to each other, so the angle becomes what? 90 degree. So theta equal to 90 degree. What is sin 90? Sin 90 becomes what? 1. So the equation is Bev. So Fb equal to, what is that? Bev. Okay. So we got the electric force equation is Fe equal to Ee, and the magnetic force equation is Fb equal to Bev. Okay. Here I said the electric force and magnetic force kept balanced. So we are equating these two equations. So we can get that Fe equal to Fb. So Ee equal to Bev. Okay. So this E gets cancelled. Remaining V could be equal to E by B. This is the velocity of the cathode ray equation. Okay. That is equation number 1. This E is electric field. B is a what? Magnetic field. So V equal to E by B. Now how will you find out the specific charge of an electron? Specific charge of an what? Electron. Okay. So initially we know that here the electrons are coming from cathode, right? So in which there will be a potential energy at the cathode position. Okay. And the electrons can be passed to the anode disk. At that time, the potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. Okay. So the potential energy equation is here electron volt, EV, right? And the substituting this, potential energy could be equal to kinetic energy. Okay. So now what becomes the equation? So potential energy equation is EV equal to kinetic energy equation is half mv square. Okay. We want to know what is specific charge of an electron, that is E by m. Okay. So I am getting this m downwards. So E by m could be equal to, remaining term is v square by 2v. Okay. Already we know what is velocity equation. We got that here. What is that? E by v. So we are substituting here. Therefore, E by m equal to E square by v square 2v. Okay. This is equation number 2. Right? By substituting the values for E, V and V and all, we can get that E by m could be equal to 1.7 into 10 power 11 coulomb per kg. Because this E is a charge, and then it is what? Coulomb here. Okay. This m is the mass of an electron, and then it is kg. When it goes to the numerator, it becomes what? Per kg. So the E by m value is 1.7 into 10 power 11 coulomb per kg. Okay. So by the principle we know that by varying the electric and magnetic field, the specific charge of an electron can be calculated. It could be measured. Right? So the first case we are going to change, that is we are going to vary only the electric field. Okay. The next case is deflection of charge only due to uniform electric field. Okay. So I said that by varying the electric and magnetic field, the specific charge of electron is measured. Okay. Here we are going to vary only the uniform electric field. Right. So at that time the magnetic field is switched off. Right. At that time the deflection of charge is only due to an uniform electric field. Right. So the electric equation becomes, electric force equation becomes Fe equal to what is that? E. Right? According to Newton's second law of motion, we know the formula F could be equal to what is that? Ma. F equal to Ma. M is the mass, A is the acceleration of an electron. From this A, E equal to what is that? F by m. This F is nothing but Fe. So we can substitute Fe equation here. So AE equal to EE by m. This is equation number 1. Okay. So we got what is the acceleration of electron here? AE equal to E by m. Right? So I said that the deflection of charge is only due to what is that? Uniform electric field. Okay. So that time the figure becomes, this is a positive plate, there is a negative plate here. So the electrons can be passing from cathode to anode, I said. There is a screen here. Right? And there is an electron here. And we know electric field is vertically downward direction. Once electron is traveling between these plates, I said the electric field alone can be turned on, the magnetic field is switched off here. So in the positive means electric field, negative means what? Magnetic field. So here the deflection is acting along only in the upward direction here, right? And this small displacement is, we can consider y dash. This is the central point, that is O, and this is the deviated position that I consider P here. And the OP distance we can consider what is that here? Y. So this is the larger displacement position, and this one is a smaller displacement position, right? So we have to calculate what is y dash, and then we can easily find what is displacement, that is y here. Okay, so we found what is AE, that is E by m. Right? So how will you find out the y dash equation? So according to kinematic motions of the equation, we know the general second equation S equal to ut plus half at square. Right? Here S means the displacement, u is the initial velocity, t is the time taken by the cathode ray, right? And a is the acceleration. So we can replace the S is nothing but y dash equal to ut plus half at square. Right? So I use initial velocity I said. So t is the time taken. What is the time taken value? So we know generally velocity equal to displacement by time and taken. Right? So by doing cross multiplication, we know T equal to what is that? Displacement by velocity. This displacement I consider this length L, length of each plate, that is displacement here. Right? So T could be equal to L by V. Right? Therefore, y dash equal to u is initial velocity. It is always what? 0. So u equal to 0. So this term becomes 0. So we get half a t square. Right? Therefore, y dash equal to half into this a is nothing but ae. That value is what? E by m, and the t value is what? L by b. So if your square is here, so L by b the whole square. Okay. The next step is y dash equal to half E by m by squaring this L square by v square. This v is a what? Velocity. And we know already v could be equal to E by v. I am going to substitute here. So y dash equal to half E by m L square by this v is E square by v square. So I can write the v square here. V square. Okay. So 1 e gets cancelled. And the remaining term is y dash equal to half E by m L square v square by e. Okay. So we got the small displacement term here. And we want to know what is the deviate quotient here. That is y here. Right? How will we find y? We know normally larger displacement is proportional to what is that? Smaller displacement. So once we have to equate means introduce one constant here. That constant is nothing but c. So c into y dash. The c is a constant of proportionality. Okay. Therefore y equal to c into what is y dash equation? Half e by m L square v square by e. Okay, we want to know what is specific charge only. That is E by m. So this 2 and e can go to this side. We get 2ye equal to c into e by m L square v square. And the c L square v square can come this side. 2ye by c L square v square equal to what? E by m. So we found the specific charge equation by the deflection only due to what? Electric field. So by substituting the values of y, e's constant value, L and V and all, we can get that E by m value is 1.7 into 10 power 11 coulomb per kg. The second case is deflection of charge only due to magnetic field. The last case we see deflection of charge only due to what? Electric field. Here it is deflection only due to magnetic field. So at that time the electric field is what is that? Switched off. So deflection occurs only due to magnetic field. Okay. So the magnetic electric force of equation is Fb equal to BeV in terms of magnitude. Right? But according to the diagram, the electrons can be, once the magnetic field is turned on and the electric field is turned off, means the electrons can be travels around the semicircular path. Okay, in which this force can provide the centripetal force. Right? So this force can be a centripetal force equation. So that equation becomes what is that? Fb equal to mv square by r. M is a mass, v is a velocity, and r is the radius of the circular path. Okay, by equating these two equations, we get that BeV equal to mv square by r. Right? So 1 gets cancelled. I want what is specific charge only. So I can get this m this side. So E by m could be equal to remaining as V by what? dr. So already we know what is V equation. V equal to what? E by V. I substitute here. E by m equal to E by B into dr. B into B is B square Okay.